Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. You are tuning into the Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Spiritual Insight Show with Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. I'm Reverend Tiffany White, Sage Woman, and I'm so very honored and grateful to be sitting in sacred circle with each and every one of you this evening, the first Sunday in August. So welcome, August, huh? Woohoo! Is that good or is that bad? I'm not sure. But anyway, welcome, everyone. And so I just would like to make sure that everyone is familiar with, whether you're watching live or you're watching in the archives, how to get in touch with me. My website is whitesagewoman.com. That is how you can get in touch with me after the show if you need to, or if we are if we are friends or have communicated, you know how to communicate with me other than that. So just want to put the website out there for all of those who would like to have that information. So it is in the description, but sometimes it's hard to, depending how you're viewing it, to look at the show description as well. So just welcome everyone, whether you're watching live on YouTube or you're watching live on Rumble. And what I would like to do too is I see that maybe it's just on my end, but I see that connections can be a little wonky. So what I'm going to do, just in case for the YouTube viewers, is I'm going to put the Rumble link. If there's anything that happens with YouTube, you can finish watching the show on Rumble. So there, just want to let you know that, because I am noticing a little bit of issues here. YouTube doing some wonky things. So wonky. So anyway, just put that in there for you. Remind everyone, if you're watching live, and whether you even watch the replay, to please click the thumbs up button on YouTube and give me a rumble on Rumble. So, woohoo! A plus rumble, right? A rumble. So, all right. So, how's everyone feeling? And I think it's just the same all the time, isn't it? It's just what a wild ride. And it's interesting is today I was just like, let's just free flow everything, and we're just going to have some great conversation. This is some interaction between us this evening. And before dinner, I started to receive all of this. You know how you feel like when you feel bloated or gassy, and I know you can tell the difference when it's for real, or if energetic. So this was the energy in my solar plexus, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Okay, so let me just work on it. And I've been working on it, just unhooking, releasing, really shining the gold and white light through my solar plexus, deep breathing, and that is helping. So I know that each of us are experiencing things in different ways, and we don't have to experience the same exact thing and be very similar. It can be very different, but just pay attention and note what we are feeling, because it is important. It really is. And it's I switched eyeglasses, because my eyes were going fuzzy on me. It was like I would look at something and then it would fuzz up on me, and I'm like, I can't see what I'm reading, what happened, or I can't see, what I'm watching or anything. And so I switched glasses. I know it's not that, and it's just all part of this. And it's when I talk to my healing team, and they're like, no, it's okay. It's just all part of what's going on. There's a lot of work that's going on within us with all this powerful light that's coming through our DNA, reactivating what was ever the strands that were dormant, reactivating those, putting everything into perfect alignment with our 12th dimensional light body. We're going to have all sorts of let's say side effects, but we're going to feel that. We most definitely are. So for this evening, I thought what I would do is I presented, or not I'm just the channel, but a lot of information was presented the last several weeks. And so I thought tonight we would let's talk about this. Was there some questions that you had? Was there something you wanted some further information on? And yeah, so I think ghosts, our spirit or something is setting off our ring. So funny. Anyway, there's a little alert, and I'm like, okay. So, and Wendy and I have talked about, she has indoor webcams, and she catches her little, I was just talking about you, Wendy. The indoor cameras, and so motion cameras, and she catches a lot of great things. She has a lot of activity in her home overnight. And so I was looking at them, and I'm like, okay, well, I talked to my husband about it, and he's like, well, we do have a ring system we can get for the inside too. So I'm like, okay, so now I've got to go back and look at the recordings and see. But what I have been noticing too is that it's just been going crazy. It's like no one's there, unless it's the squirrels coming up and being funny, but it's too late at night right now. I think they all kind of, but just pay attention, just observe what's happening. And excuse me, burped stuff up. So as we wake up and maybe in the middle of the night, pay attention to what woke you up, what kind of experiences is it. And it's really interesting because it's I woke up, not anything strange or interesting about me waking up several times during the night. That's normal, and I'm sure all of us do this. But what I found was me going like this. I woke up and I'm going like this. And I'm like, well, what am I saying? Stop. And so I closed my eyes and I was like, recall what was just going on here, and it was like an image was trying to come through, but it was like it looked like an ink blot. I don't know how any other way to say it. Other than it could have been a flying insect or something. I mean, really a big, but it was about this size, like an ink blot. I really couldn't identify it. It just looked like a black ink splatter, and it's like, okay, but what my soul did, and here's the thing too, when we first wake up, our mind's kind of like, what's going on? And our soul's like, shh, we got this, be quiet. And so I found that when my mind was like, oh, what's going on, that my soul, my higher self was already good. I was doing extra protection. I was just like, no unauthorized remote viewing is allowed. So someone did try to peek in last night or remote view or do something that was not for my highest and greatest. And it can also be too because us light workers and as way showers, we are so bright, and that sometimes we can be attacked from that. But I knew that it was not good. It was not for my highest and greatest, that it was not of good energy, that it was a dark energy, and was able to get rid of it right away. But it was like interesting because my higher self was taking care of it already, and my mind's like, whoa, that's trippy, and it back to sleep. So but I remembered it. So I'm sure we all have some crazy experiences like that, but it's crazy is becoming normal, I should say. So just want to shout out to everyone, who's come in is Ruth, Robin's Cosmic Soul Food. Love it. Super Space Cookie, Sarah. and windy. And so, yeah. So, wow, that's interesting. It is interesting. And this is why a lot of times everything's done on such autopilot. We don't remember because we're trying to recall from our mind. And our mind, I'm sleeping. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm sleeping. But our higher self, our soul's like, we got this. We're taking care of it. This is what we want to have that dialogue with. This is why it's important to have that conversation. Whether if you have done this enough, you know how to do it without journaling. Sometimes it does require that exercise of, all right, so I'm going to just close my eyes and I'm asking my higher self, what did I dream last night? If I astral traveled, where did I go? And just write down, this is the thing, write down the first things you get. You see, you sense, you feel. Write it down. Don't let your mind go, that's crazy. That doesn't even make sense. I'm not going to write that down. Why not? The whole point of this is you're asking what happened. It's not going to make sense to your mind unless your mind's used to it. Unless your mind's like, yeah, okay, here we go. Woo, we land again. But, your mind, after a while, once it is disciplined and realizes that it is only the co-pilot, then in your command center, then it calms down and it's like, okay, all right. But there are times though when you can catch it off guard, especially I think when waking up, that triggers our minds like wake up, and it does trigger immediately the lower chakras of fight or flight, the survival. It can trip that. So it's and then we just need to take a deep breath. What's going on? Let's look at this through the heart, through that sacred cosmic heart center. So if anyone has any questions, my committee is here. They felt like one or two of you have some really good questions that came from last week's show, or the last several weeks, or just even the last several months, whether there was something you wanted clarity on, or there's just a question you would like to have some more insight on. Yes, so we can do that. So you can type your, there goes my third eye, tickle, tickle, tickle. So we can, we can do that. We can have this great conversation. Like I love that this circle does that. So yes. All right. A deep breath here. Just wait for everyone. I know that there is a bit of a delay in getting comments. And so whether you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, please type in your comments, maybe some questions, what you have for me and my divine holy committee. So there you go. Oh yeah, Wendy, neither do I. That we have the cameras. It's like only downstairs only, and to watch our dog when we go somewhere, because we're all still trying to heal from his mother. I don't want to say her name out loud right now. He's calm. That he's never been a solo dog in the house, and so we wanted to see how he could do by himself. So we just started to, even though it's been weeks. I mean, we were taking him everywhere with us because we were just like, but then we started to, now we have these and we have him positioned to where he would be, so we can keep an eye on him. But yeah, I would never don't put those in your bedroom. Okay. Trust me, if you have activities, it's going to be all over. It's not going to be just like in one little area, although it can, if there's like a portal there and there's multiple orbs or energy impressions, you're going to, you can kind of figure out how it feels, and it kind of just validates for you when you can kind of see that as well. And so, yeah, I agree. I wouldn't put them in any bedrooms. Please don't put them in your kids' bedrooms. I mean, that's just totally, I think that just totally even though there's no such thing as privacy, really, in the upper dimensions and vibrations there is, though, for hearing. We need to respect that. So yeah, I agree. But it is cool. I've liked watching some of the videos that you've shared with me, Wendy, with the orbs and everything hanging out there. It's just pretty amazing. So yes, woohoo! So are y'all thinking about something you want to ask about? And let me see if there was anything that they want to talk about as well too. They wanted some Q&A this evening, so maybe we'll get into that. So okay. You know, it's usually my cue that I'm hearing something that I'm hesitant to. I don't want to say that. Okay, let's see how I can word this very carefully and phrase this. And so there's a lot of light workers, and we all have different circles. We all hear information coming in from different ways, whether we're, say, comparing notes, but we do compare the information that we are receiving, especially the channelers, and just, okay, so what's coming in, what's going, not just spiritual, but also from some patriot sites as well. And this isn't to create alarm. This isn't to create fear. All right? All this is just to simply, the next couple of weeks, when you go shopping, food shopping, just buy a little bit more. Just buy, like companies coming. Buy a holiday time where we buy like 2 and 3 of something. All right, do that a couple of times. And it's not that this big, which is fake, this whole apocalyptic ending was fed to us, was brainwashed to us. We don't have to choose that, and we're not choosing that option. Thank you very much. Okay, but there can be some things that are manifested or staged or block. And please know that when they say that there's a shortage, okay, there's plenty of food. It would be, how's it getting there is what they're going to block. You're just going to see some things, a choke point. So think about this, though, because we really are in this, to us light workers, light has won. All right, we're just seeing everything play out. To the dark, they're still in this war mindset. Okay, to I'm saying evil entities, not bad people. I'm talking about the really bad, the evil ones, the ones that are left anyway. And they're going to do everything they can to grab as many people as they're falling down. All right, and they're going to try to grab as many people as they can, and they're by throwing fear, by throwing more propaganda, by throwing just so much BS. Aren't we all tired of it by now? And they loop this stuff. They're not even creative. It's the same stuff that they try to recycle. Ooh, let's just call it a different name, but it's the same things that causes separation and division. Let's all just come together. And only thing is like, it's going to be something that would be really, really bad. Maybe 3 to 4 weeks. We want to make sure that we have just some extra supplies, food, water. That's it. Okay. And stay happy, stay joyful. And we need to look out for one another, definitely our neighbors too. And just if you have elderly neighbors, just to make sure that they are okay as well. Just it's really about staying together, and not just your family, community, your neighborhood around you. We have online communities. We have communities now because of this technology of the internet, of reaching out. We have so many online communities. We have so many communities that we can work together and just really just get all of this, we'll get through all of this. So I'm just reading Sarah Super Space Cookies comment. There's signs everywhere here that there's shortages, and sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, see? Yeah. And so we can even start seeing that. And so just don't go crazy, because when we get into a fear panic mode, people overbuy. Then you don't, and then you just take it from someone else. It's a really good thing to do. I do this all the time when we come back from food shopping, grocery shopping from the market, wherever, when we're putting food away or groceries away, is to think, I'm grateful for this food. I am grateful. Well, I also started to add, while we're in the grocery store or the marketplace or wherever you're getting food from, is just be grateful for this space. I am grateful for this abundance for everyone. There is enough for everyone. Like when we plant those light pillars, we are planting that light pillar with that intention. There is enough for everyone. There is enough for everyone. Let that be your response when you hear fear propaganda coming out and people screaming and all of this. And it's such a riot now. Really, you don't even know what's real and what's staged, and anymore from the fake news. So it's just that's not my timeline. That's not my reality. Right here, there's enough for everyone. There's always enough. Always. Know that. Okay? And for goodness sake, just, you don't need to, you don't need to get like months, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Some people go crazy. They're just like, nothing against preppers if you're a prepper. All right? It's, I really don't need a year's worth of food. And is that good food? So I'm going to tell you right now, and switching to the Whole Foods vegan diet for me last fall. My husband joined in January of this year. And wow, when you are eating fresh, then you can freeze a lot of things. And I know many of you here have gardens. You can freeze things. Canning. Remember canning? Good old glass jars. Back into the canning. You can stock up on some things, and I have a new juicer. I absolutely love this juicer, and do a bunch of juicing and putting them in really tall bottles and putting, so just you're getting, of course, some more of your vitamins and minerals. And so we're already doing a lot of this stuff already, and just how easy that is to just a little more and put it aside. And please don't forget about your pets either, your pets' food, right? Pets. Don't forget about your pets. All right. Let's see, Wendy, the more you use, the more the planet Earth gives. Exactly. And I do that a lot, just going outside and just, there's enough. And it's, even when I feed the birds and the creatures and feed every living being that comes into our yard, I'm always, when I'm filling up the bird feeders and giving the squirrels an assortment of nuts, and I'm always saying, there's plenty, there's enough. We are abundant. There's enough. There's enough. And I especially will tell, we get pigeons. We don't know where the pigeons come from, but we get a lot of pigeons, and they fly in certain time in the morning. They stay all day, kind of off and on in the afternoon, and then, dusk they're gone. And so, but there's a couple of them though. Watching the pigeons are too funny. There's one that just bullies the other ones, and I'm just like, Now you knock that off. There is plenty for everyone. That is not allowed here. And then I'm like, well, anybody hears me say this to these birds, they got absolutely crazy. They already do anyway, because there's a neighbor or two that's not fond that you have to feed everything. And but this is nature, baby. You better get in tune with it. So Sarah Super Space Cookie, I have 30 jars of pickles that we canned last summer. 30 jars of pickles. Oh, that's good. And Wendy, that's why I brought a bread machine. I missed it last year. Yes, and you can freeze bread. And that's what I'm saying. It is, you can freeze bread, you can freeze bagels, English muffins, give you some other alternatives. All right. And again, there's plenty for everyone. Just take what you need and leave the rest. Okay. Don't go into panic mode, because we know this. All it takes is one panic domino in public, and it's like the domino effect, and it's like, oh, it catches on, and people go crazy. And I just really hope that, I couldn't understand why there was a toilet paper shortage last year. Can we please not go down that route again? I'm just like, what? Anyway, I'm sure all of us were like that. It's just like, okay. So anyway. Oh, yeah, I know you do, Sarah. You tell that to your birds too. No fighting. There's enough for everyone. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And it's beautiful, because when you have, and I know you feed a lot of wildlife too, Sarah. So we have so many beautiful beings that come in and and share their love and light, and they totally understand. And we can communicate, and it's getting easier and easier to know that our connection with this planet is stronger and stronger, or more. Let me say this. It's always been strong. If you wanted to feel that, it's your choice to whether you wanted to feel, recognize, and embrace that connection. It's always been there. All right. But I find, like right now, just communication wise, in a higher dimension, and whether it's the abilities, increased, enhanced abilities, are fine tuning. They are picking up. They're getting more clearer. They're getting to, wow, you can just hear. Did I freeze? There we go. Okay. Animals use pictures to communicate. They'll show you a snapshot, and then sometimes it could be multiple snapshots. But that's how, and their intention and snapshots, and when their energy with that intention is very, very intense. It's right on, and they don't use the same words, but somehow we translate it that way. It's kind of the same thing like with light language, right? And it's just, we just know that vibration, that frequency you're tuned into, that frequency, that vibration. And then it's like so easy. Oh, okay. Wow. Let's see, Sarah, we're not supposed to feed the birds because all the songbirds mysteriously dying all across the state. The state. I still feed my orioles and hummingbirds, though. Yeah. I heard that too, mysteriously dying. Yeah. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Richard, when I was driving on 36th Street, let's see, I was a deer and a cavalier. I said, please don't run. You saw a deer, okay? I said, please don't run in front of me. The deer stopped and ran beside me, then crossed behind. I love that, Richard. Absolutely. Yes. See, you're just like, no, please don't. And we don't wish harm, Exactly. I love that. That's beautiful. Sarah, I felt it was in the food. The thing is that they usually, this is how you tell when there is a cover up. If there's something, birds or just any other beings or some, a group of people are mysteriously dying, they should have some sort of results very quickly. So sure, I believe too that it is poisoning, getting into something they probably shouldn't have, or and there's so many ways. We live in a toxic environment, and the most toxic it's been. So wow, Wendy, I heard about birds dying in Connecticut too. I don't know where that is. Maybe, Wendy, is that more north of you? And yeah. Oh, well, I hope that if you find these loving beings like this, that you would bury them. Just say thank you. If they're in your yard, right? If they're in your yard, let me put a little, hold on, disclaimer on that. If they're in your yard, bury them. If not, you see them, then just say, hey, thank you so much for your life. Thank you for your presence here. Just say thank you. It's the most powerful thing. Having that recognition, like, I see you. I saw you, and maybe I didn't see you when your soul was in your body, or they have soul groups, but still when you were plugged into your body. But you know what? I see what's left, and I'm just through this empty vessel of a temple, I'm saying thank you. And they get the messages. They always do. Okay? And so let's see, Melissa made it. Woohoo! Melissa's watching on Rumble. Woohoo! Thank you. Hello, Melissa. I have to refresh this Rumble so I can see this. Comment to the lovely Rumble viewers. Woohoo! Hello, Melissa. Yay. Wow, you made it? You made it! All right. Let's see, Sarah, when I see, let me make sure I didn't miss any. Let me scroll up just a little bit. All right. Sarah, when I see deer on the side of the road, I stop in the road and talk to them. I tell them, get back now. You don't want to get hit. Oh, that's so sweet, Sarah. Yeah. Robin, a large raven has been eating on my birds. I said, I saw it eating my doves and see it hanging around. Okay. You need to have a conversation with that raven, Robin, because you're seeing this, you're observing this. This is something between you and this raven, and you need to have that conversation as to why. And don't, because I know that would make, yes, your initial reaction is to be upset. Understand it is a circle of life with nature. But let's take a deep breath and have a conversation. Hey, raven, please. And ravens and crows are great communicators. They can talk to you. They can respond to you. And so just in a very loving way, and say, I love all beings. Could you please, why? Just why? And we have to be careful. We can't, too many words, then we just frustrate ourselves because they're not going to answer that way. They're not going to, Anyway, yes, Wendy, you know what? My husband and I noticed that too, that the bee population is way down than what it used to be. It really, really has. And we've noticed that, some things in our garden are doing very well, and other things is missing the bee population. We're just like, you noticed this? But we've noticed that too. We really have. Let's see. Robin, I try to talk to you, but it always flies off when I get close. You don't have to be close to have a conversation. You can be inside and see it out the window and have a conversation. They feel the energy. All right. Energy is very, very strong. It goes through these walls. As we've seen, those who've had experiences with the ghosts, they go right through any of these. There's no boundaries. All right. So we can have that communication. I've sat here in my office, turned around, looked out the window, and had conversations with birds and crows. There's a crow that used to couple of crows that like to come and have a chat with me. And yeah, and that's fine. It'll fly away if you get too close. They have to gain your trust first. So yeah, it will happen. Don't force it, Robin. It will happen. And but I think you might be, I would say, surprised. But when you have the conversation with the raven, you have to have an open mind, and you may be very, oh, I didn't realize that, or didn't see it from that point of view. Okay, so just know that. And it's really funny is that I used to have a whole bunch of crows that come around here, and I've noticed that they hadn't been as much as they used to. And I was like, what's going on? So I would ask, where have you been? So the crow will come and land on the garage roof, and I see this little bird. I don't know what kind of bird it is. It looks like, the roadrunner. It has a really long, erect back tail, but it's not a roadrunner. But this bird looks like a roadrunner. Well, there must be a nest for them, because there was 2 birds like that, small birds now, being very aggressive with this crow. And I was like, wow, okay, hold on. You know that they never fly solo. And you look around, you can see crows hang out, crows and ravens. You can spot, they do the whole lookout thing. They'll have a perimeter, and they all are somewhere else, and they're all looking after each other. And so I'm like, well, that's pretty bold. What are you doing? And so the crow and I would have a conversation, and the little bird's like, go, 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 go. And I'm like, and the crow's like, put his head down. Like, I don't mean any harm. And it was a crow who had told me, it's like, they have a nest. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's why we haven't been around. They do have a nest. And I was like, is that, I thought the nesting time was, is that normal to have a nest in the summertime? And they're just was like, well, they're very territorial. They have a nest, and that's it. We can't. They're not going to sit here and try to help us analyze. They're just going to give us information. It's up to us. But I just took that and said, okay, thank you, because I was wondering where they've been, and now I know. And so every once in a while, I'll see the crows. They'll come by, and but I can't feed them because they get shooed off. So it's like, okay. If they're really hungry, they can swoop in and get some of the nuts that I leave out and stuff for the critters, and they'll swoop down, get some corn, they'll get some peanuts, and then they'll go on really quick. But it is interesting to see that they're just like, for right now, this is what's going on, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, interesting. So, but you can hear them too, and I know where a couple of their nests are further away, but you can hear them when they call. You can definitely hear them. And I go outside, and I talk to all living beings. I talk to earth. I talk to the trees, to the grass, to the bushes, to anything, the flowers. And I'm saying, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. When you do that enough, listen, and the birds respond. Listen, and they respond. And to do that, good morning, good morning, good morning. And then I hear the crows. I hear the crows in the distance responding to that. Because it's not just sound coming from my mouth. The sound is coming from the Sacred Heart Center. It's all from there up and out. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right. So, yeah. All right. Woo. Well, y'all must not have any questions, huh? I am surprised. I thought for sure there'd be, 1 or 2 questions. And I know what I wanted to read to you guys here. There was I'll just read a little bit of it. It's a very long email. I'm not going to go through all that, but one of the holistic doctors I get a newsletter from, I thought it was pretty good. Just a great reminder. Okay, a great reminder not to feed the fear. And he's spinning this in the psychological impact of fear. Okay. So it turns out that worry and fear, emotions you might feel right now, may be some of the biggest health issues and challenges we face. Not maybe, I'm sure a lot of it. Yes. Researchers have looked at the psychological impact that fear can have, and the results are surprising. In the same way that stress can weaken your immune system, worry and fear can impact your physical, emotional, and spiritual health. While it's important to stay informed when it comes to some news cycles, the worry they produce can actually make you more susceptible to illness. So the message is really focused on reminding of what you can do to avoid fear and worry and to develop a more fabulous you in the process. I like some of these activities is really great. It's like gardening. We just talked about nature, right? Gardening helps you to reap the benefits of spending time in nature. Hello, healthy bacteria. Sunshine, soak in some vitamin D, and please don't use sunscreen. That's the biggest lie we've been fed, because there's chemicals in that. And so then the sun reacts to those chemicals, and we're being told, oh, it's the sun that's damaging. No, it's whatever protection crap you're putting on your skin. Hello, that's what it is. It's reacting to that. Deep breath. And physical exercise, of course, which promotes longevity. And it also helps just if that's present, if you're in a joyful state, stress, fear, and worry is not there. They can't exist in the same space at the same time. Okay, so practice meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude. 3 things you can do that won't cost you a penny that are scientifically linked to boosted immunity: meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude. These practices will also keep your mindset positive. Remember, I said there's enough for all. There's plenty for all. I am grateful for all the food and water that I consume, that we consume. Yes. So get out of the house, take a walk. Take a walk. Walk around. You know, it doesn't have to be very long. You can do a short walk. You can, whatever, just walk. Have some movement. All right. And just get organized. And how many of you know that great feeling of when we're getting organized, when we purge stuff that we don't need anymore? You know, reach out and catch up with an old friend. Let go of any grudges that just, can you even remember why the grudge was formed to begin with? You know, it's not serving a purpose. The acid of grudge, or just anything that we hold on to, the acid destroys the container more than anything else. Just know that. All right. So create a new exercise routine you can do anywhere. Learn how to make a new meal. Rearrange your house. Tackle a home improvement project that's been on the back burner. You know, do some journaling. Update your dreams, your goals, your passions. Practice a random act of kindness. And all of these activities can inspire positive emotion and change, which boosts the physical health. And we need to keep our immune systems healthy, 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 right? So I thought I would just share that with you. I thought that was just a really great reminder. Okay? A very, very great reminder. And I'm going to tell you, I have never used, even in my youth, in my teenage, I've never used that kind of something to block your skin. I've never used that. Never used sunscreen. Never. Nope. And when you use really nice organic botanical oils, you get a really nice tan. And just limit your time in the sun. Limit. Get some shade. Get in the shade, you know, unless, of course, you know, you're at the beach. But still, even then, take a beach umbrella. Know your limit. What is your, and the sun is so much stronger than it used to be too. And I'll tell you right now, you get out there in 10, 15 minutes and it felt like I've been out there for an hour and a half. It's like, woo, I'm good to go now, you know? Yeah. Let's see, Richard, I don't use it at work. I use the hat. Exactly. Very good. Yeah, just use the hat. And I wear long sleeves all year long sometimes. Like I've got my long sleeve. But it's also the material. All right. You want something light. You want something, you do have some linen shirts as well. But it's just common sense. Common sense. How long have we been out of here, you know? And yeah, use hats. You know, if you're working in the yard too, make sure you have some shaded area that you can take a break. You know, have your water, go take a break, sit down, relax, pace yourself when you are outside. Okay. And so I will admit that I think when my sons were younger, maybe 6 or 7, I think for them, because we have been brainwashed for you know, got to protect the babies and toddler skins. And I think I used sunscreen once on them, maybe a couple times, but I will read the ingredients, research the ingredients, and threw that stuff right away and said, no, I'm not using it again. Now, if they use it now, they're adults, that's their thing. But it's, you know, no. And that's a sad thing, and that's how they get you. All right. So it's this continuous loop of how they can, you know, anyway, try to push diseases on us. So stay informed. Do your research. Be in the know. And right now, too, some of that research may be tainted again, you know, making it hard for us to maybe do some research if everything is being monitored and maybe some false information is being put out there instead. All right. So that's why I always recommend, where do we go, guys? Right here, Sacred Heart Center. Can't be hacked ever by any low vibrational beings. They have to be, it can't be hacked at all. All right. When you keep your vibrations high, you connect with your 12th dimensional light body. Oh, yeah, the cosmic heart of source, of creator. Oh, that's powerful right there. There's no boundaries. There's no limits. Everything we need to know is right there. That's the research. Go right there. Yeah. So, yeah, Sarah, I haven't read, I know Norwick's has some really good products. So, yeah. Yeah, you do have to be careful. They will slip it in. They put that in the face makeup now. Again, always you have to read ingredients. And I tell you, I don't, the only makeup I use really is I like a powder, because I have combination skin, so I have some oily spots. But I just put on a powder, just a powder. All right, I've never been able to use foundation because my skin can't breathe. It literally, my face is like, I can't breathe, get this crap off, you know. So I just always, I'll put face cream on. Sure, it's a really good face cream. And put my lotion, my face cream on, and then put a powder on and mascara and maybe some lipstick. If I'm just going to hang out, then I'll just, you know, use a little lip gloss or some chapstick. You know, that's about it. That's all I've ever been comfortable with wearing, because to me it's just like your skin has to breathe. Your skin has to breathe, and we have to be very careful what we put on our skin. Oh, again, still, anytime you want to put questions in. Let's see. Robin, I tried to tell my stepbrother he needed to research his diet. He believes his doctor and his See where that's probably looking backwards to you. Came back. Yeah, they want to keep you sick. It is. It is. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, yes. It's not a wellness program at all. It's a sickness program. They keep you in that state. We break that. Free will, free choice. Go to find natural doctors. Find anything holistic, and that's the new energy. Well, let me just say this. This energy's been around. All right, but this is going to be, there's nothing new about it. What's going to make is that it's going to be the mainstream. It's going to be, this is what we do. Right. So there you go. But many of us have been doing this, practicing this now. And, yeah, and just, we have to be careful. And it's, I know a lot of people say, well, you trust the science. Science is tainted. Everything right now is tainted. There's good, there's bad. People in every profession and every walks of life, there's good, there's bad. Then there's pure evil foundations that were set up. And we know who they are. We know what they are, what they're doing. Unfortunately, there's many, though, who still trust that system, and there's nothing we can do but just hold a space of love for them, and that's it. They have to make their own choices, but we can definitely just send love to them. And this is the beautiful thing, is that even if their mind and their body may not feel the love that you're sending, the soul always knows. The soul, the higher self, and it's like, oh, thank you for that, okay? So it does work. It does work. Even if we don't get the physical signs, we don't have to always see it, all right, for it to be real. Woohoo! Oh, my goodness. So, all right. Just checking, making sure, seeing if there's any questions anywhere. Is everyone still good watching? And say, yay. All right, so we got 8 minutes left. Again, still time for some questions. If y'all just want to let me know where you're watching from too, and do like a little roll call shout out where everyone's watching from this evening. Woohoo! And yeah. And even when you're watching the replay, love to get to know everybody. So, all right. We are being lied to. And now the state that you're in is trying to make us, to come back around. I'm not going to touch this right now, because if I say anything, and it's not just me on this channel, I have show hosts on Goldylocks Productions that I'm not going to say some things. You guys know how I feel about that. Why are they trying to? They want to keep us in a state of control and fear. All right. So, yeah, and that's just it. You can't really post too much anymore, Wendy. You have to be careful on social media what you're posting. And just, a liberal friend posted stuff about this C word. I posted follow the money, and she got about 3 negative comments, and not 30 like last year. Oh, okay. So see, that's good. So last year there was like 30, and this year there's only 3. That's not bad. It's improving. Absolutely follow the money. And, let me tell you, my mother battled 3 times. I grew up watching her do this. I watched her activate it. That's a whole nother story. I've talked about that in the past. And yes, we can activate that. And for whatever reason, maybe it's the mission. Because I'll tell you, she was a huge Even though I didn't agree with a lot of things she did, I didn't have to. She was a huge inspiration for me and a bright light. All right. So of course, people would know this, and they would always invite me to, or, well, why don't you do a fundraiser like a walkathon, or walk for somebody, or a run for somebody, or something like that, some sort of, that they do. And I was like, no, where is that going to? And I'm sorry that my mom had that in the 70s, and here we are in this day and time, and there's seriously something's wrong, and because they like to keep everyone sick. So you come on, really? Anyway, I won't do any of those walks or runs, raise money for charity like that, guys. I love you all, but when you do something like that for your birthday fundraisers on social media, I'm out. I will not support Big Farm and their lies and trickery. And where does that money go? Research-wise, they put money aside for lawsuits. They anticipate it. They know it. Really? Wow. I will tell you that my parents had very high medical bills. And you know what? Why don't you go find a family that needs their bills taken care of? Maybe put some food on the table for them, especially if they have kids. Why don't you, and even if they don't, I'm just saying, really? Let's take care of the people. And show them love and kindness, not such fear propaganda crap. I'd be a part of that any day. Yep. Yeah. But we got so brainwashed into, this is dedicated for so-and-so and so-and-so. And it's like, is so-and-so benefiting from it? I'm not trying to be mean, but are they? No. And a lot of times it's a memorial. They've already transitioned. They're already gone. Right? Find a family. And I'll tell you, it was great for a bit, for like the first 2 weeks. My mom's church, people brought over food for the first 2 weeks. Then it kind of fizzes off. It just stops. So, and I was appalled to find that there's still people like that. It's still. And these medical bills are extremely high, so much higher than it was then. And it was high then. Insane. No one should have to suffer like that. That's just another way of suffering that is not necessary. Not necessary. Yeah, you hear me, Tiffany? Yeah, I know, right. Yeah, Robin, I know where you are. I know where you live. I know what's going on. And, that's right. Just to give a shout out. Whoop. Melissa, Sarasota. Yay. Robin, Chesapeake. Yay. Shout out to where you are. So we have Virginia. We have Florida. That's so funny. All right. Super Space Cookie. I Googled the new variant because they're using the same test as the regular. Yep. So how do they know which one you're sick with? Just food for thought. Yeah, it is very, very interesting. And you got to be very careful because there's going to be a new variant every month. Watch until this just stops. Until it's just like, no. Other countries, if we're getting the real news and you can hear that, they're fighting. They are peacefully protesting. But be careful. I'm not fighting. Love doesn't fight. This is the thing. This is the lie. Love doesn't fight. Love just is. Love just be. This beautiful, magnificent, bright light. There's nothing better and stronger than that. Just be. Just be the love and the light wherever you are. And know that we are getting through this. Really. Where we are right now is it's like I think it was mentioned that we are birthing in this new golden age. We're in the labor pains right now. We're feeling the labor pains, the contractions. Oh, here's another contraction. Here we go. Another contraction. Oh, all right. But I want you to take that contraction, that feeling, that, take some deep breaths and know that, ask any mother that's given birth, they forget that pain, and it's so worth it, because what's coming out that other end, well, the other end of all this whole ordeal, of all this chaos, is the rebirth, is the new golden age, right? So, I know, fundraisers, right? I support local small business, local people, families that actually need the help. That's what I'm all about, okay? Rescue farms, animals, things like that. No big organizations. You need to check and see. There's just too many of them that are crooked. All right, and let's see. I can't read that, Robin, on there right now, okay? Right, Sarah, they are just trying to scare people into taking their poison and cause more fear and control. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. We all do have family and close friends and loved ones that have caved into, maybe caved into, or they have. We can get caught and stuck and even thrown into fear ourselves if we spend too much time with that. That's them. That's their choice. Maybe that's even their mission. Not everyone is going to ascend in their body form. All right. A lot of them are going like, I'm only supposed to be here for this amount of time, then I'm out. I'm going to ascend. I'm going to leave my body. That's how we had ascended. That's the only way to ascend in 3D, is to when we leave these physical bodies and we ascend higher. And so there are many of us that are taking these physical bodies, combining them with our light body, realigning that, again, that realignment, and bringing it to the new golden age. How do you know if you're one of them? Is if you always knew that peace was going to be back on this planet, or that peace is going to be returned. There you go. There you know. And if you don't know that, please don't let that scare you, because everyone is important. And that there's many people who are like, okay, I'm going to get to the 5th dimension. I've done my part. I'm out. Because many starseeds, or a lot of us, we volunteered to be here. And if we finally get to be reunited with our star families, we're going to take that opportunity to do that. Make sure that everyone's on track now. It got it. It's rolling. The new age, here we go. Now we can go and do whatever we want and need to do. And 5th dimension, higher, 6th, 7th, 8th, and just higher and higher and higher. And just watch how everything turns out. It's just going to be so much better, more than I can even articulate and put into words. So, all right. It says gone by really fast. Just looked at the clock. So, wow. Well, I am surprised that nobody had any questions. Wow. But my committee is very impressed, said that we have such a strong group and a strong circle of powerful healers and light workers and beautiful beings. And so just keep shining brightly. Remember that love always wins. And if you ever see this WWG number 1, WGA, it means where we go one, we go all. We're all in this, the law of one. So here we go. Hold that. Hold that beautiful love and light. Shine brightly in all directions. And I'll see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Many blessings to each and every one of you.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.